Tonight on Be Something Wonderful, how to talk yourself into the life of your dreams. This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, in our last video, we talked about this law of attraction idea that thoughts become things. Thoughts are things. All energy has the potential to become matter, right? And we do that by what we think. And we talked about struggling with this idea of thoughts become things, because a lot of people think about things all day long that they want and they don't get it. Very often they get what they don't want. And we talked about what the reason that is. The reason is, guys, immediately, as soon as you have that thought of what you want, you have an immediate creation in your reality of wanting. Right? What you're creating is that reality of wanting that thing that you want. That is the paradox, right? And then very often, because we're thinking so hard about what we want, it creates that energy, that environment, that experience that is your experience. Your experience is created by your thoughts and your beliefs in a moment-to-moment basis. And Genevieve Davis, the author of the book, The Magic Books and Magic Words, talks about that we're reality generators. In every moment, we're creating reality by our thoughts and beliefs, by our immediate thoughts and beliefs. That's how we see the world, right? We've talked about this, guys, that with reality transurfing, that the world is like a dual mirror and reflects back what you are being, who you are. Well, it's even more than that. Your thoughts are actually creating that experience. The lens you see through, the perception, the beliefs, and the thoughts are creating that. So we talked about that, and the reason that very often you get what you don't want is because immediately when you create that thought of wanting, you create that thought of what you want, you create that experience of wanting. And that on the other side of that experience is wanting is what you don't want, which you're also thinking about at the same time. So what you create is an experience of wanting and then getting what you don't want. So how do we get over this? If we're reality generators and we can't really control our thoughts, but we can deliberately nudge them in the right direction, nudge them with more positive thoughts. Right? So you can deliberately think of, you're going to have all sorts of thoughts spontaneous come to you. And if a majority of those are negative and you don't think about anything else, then your experience, your life experience is going to be negative. If it's thoughts from the past, and all thoughts really are from the past. Really, they're all past beliefs. If they're based on those past beliefs, if they're baggage from the past, you keep creating the same reality. Different people, different faces, as Abraham Hicks says, but the same reality. So how do we get over that? How do we nudge it in our direction? How do we get this thing going in our direction? And basically, guys, and Genevieve Davis again talks about this brilliantly. You got to talk yourself into the life of your dreams. You got to choose your dream future. You got to tell a new story. So on top, those negative thoughts will be there, right? But eventually, if you keep telling a new positive story, a story that you can believe, a story that you want to be true, because remember, both the things that your ego is telling you, your thinking mind, and both positive and negative are still false. They're not real. So why not tell the story that you want? If they're all illusions anyway, tell the illusion that you want. Why? When you keep telling that story, that's what you'll create your reality, right? Because you're going to start believing it. You assume it's true. You start telling that story, and then as you keep telling that story, as you keep going back to that story, even though negative thoughts keep coming up, you keep getting back to the negative story, then eventually you're going to have more positive thoughts about that story, less negative thoughts contradicting that story. And so you've got to tell that new story that you want to be true. You tell it from a feeling place right now. Every moment you tell it, right? If something negative comes up, you pivot and you got to go look. In any negative situation, guys, you got to look for the positive, right? That's the only way. Right? It's not living in cloud nine. It's not. You have a choice to look at the world. You can look at all the chaos and all the negative and all the bad stuff, or you can look at all the good stuff, which the well-being and the good stuff way outweighs the bad stuff. It's just the bad stuff's right in our face, and we're so accustomed to looking at the negative that we default to the negative. But guys, the well-being and the positive far outweighs the negative. Start focusing on that. Tell your story, what your ideal future is. Talk yourself into that future. Say what feels good, right? Don't try to get what other spiritual teachers tell you to say or affirmations. They won't work. Those become mechanical. Those become work, right? Because it's not coming from you. It's got to come from inside you, right? You've got to talk about what your dreams are. And not only dreams, talk of them as they are true, that you know they're coming true. But talk about your dream now. Talk about your dream future. Choose what you want to have in your life. This is the power, guys. Don't make them affirmations. Those become mechanical and useless, essentially, right? They only can work when they're coming from you and they're unique to you and you start believing it as part of your story. Don't complain ever. Genevieve Davis talks about this quite a bit in her teachings. Complaining is the opposite. The complaining will get you everything that you don't want. Complaining keeps you in all the negativity, guys. I can't. The complaining. It's such a. We default to complaining, no matter what it is, guys. Start getting the habit of seeing the positive, right? As opposed to complaining, go to gratitude. What are you grateful for about it, right? As opposed to what you complain about it, what are you grateful? Once you start doing that, you get in the habit of that. You're not going to want to be around people that complain. You're not even going to want to complain. You're going to want to look for the gratitude and the love and the joy in every situation, right? Don't try to control your thoughts. They're going to come up, right? That ego is going to kind of sneak in there and tell you why you should be ungrateful, why you should complain, why it's good. The ego wants to keep you down there. But what you've got to do is start looking at the positive. Don't try to avoid those thoughts. Instead, tell a new story and tell it every day. Because remember, and Genevieve Davis talks about this too, your thoughts create an immediate experience. Your beliefs in that moment, in this moment right now, you're creating an immediate experience in your world. You're manifesting an immediate experience. And that experience is creating your future. So think about this. Anytime you complain, anytime you're negative, anytime you start getting depressed or down in the mouth, anytime that happens, you're creating your future. Is that what you want? And I know it isn't. So guys, start talk yourself into the life of your dreams. Talk yourself into a new reality. It's not faking it till you make it. It's talking about what you want, but not just thinking about what you want in terms of oh, I really want it, but I don't have it. Talking about it as this is what I'm going to do. You're going to start assuming it's true. You're going to start telling a new story about your life, right? You're going to start telling, and it can just be focusing on the positive right now, right? If it's too big to say I've got my dream company and it's making all this money, say I'm working towards it. I love all the opportunities that are coming up. I know it's happening. You can get your head wrapped around that. It is happening in every moment, right? So that's what you got to do, guys. Say what feels good. Stop complaining. Stop doing affirmations by rote. Stop following other spiritual teachers and what they say to do. This is what keeps you. This is why we have struggle with manifesting. We struggle with law of attraction. We read a book and then we try to implement exactly what that teacher says. And guys, it's unique to you. The idea is it comes from inside. That power, that wisdom is inside you. So you've got to do, the way to bring that out is start looking at life from that wisdom, looking from that life, from that positivity, telling the story of who you really are. You're going to start feeling it, right? You can still tell them, if you want to tell the negative story, then that's what you're going to keep getting. It's up to you guys, because your thoughts and sometimes we think we're stuck with our thoughts or stuck with our beliefs. You're not stuck, guys. You're not stuck. You can choose a new belief, right? You don't have to get to the bottom of why you believe that or why you thought that. You can choose a new thought. Eventually, those thoughts will start becoming your natural default mode as opposed to the negative ones. And little by little, less and less negative thoughts will enter your mind. And when they do, look for the positive in it. Say, okay, that's interesting. But then look for the positive. Once you get that habit, it's going to become addictive. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys. This is real power. This is real strength. This is how you use manifestations. This is how you use a lot of attraction. This is based on the teachings of Neville Goddard, Genevieve Davis. All of these guys talk about the same thing. This is the power, right? This is Dr. Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, all of it, because it comes from the inside. It's pointing in the direction of what you want. It's pointing yourself in the direction of your dreams. Not your dreams as if they, from a negative standpoint, like I'll never reach them. That's why you go, well, I think about my dreams all day, but do you think about them from a positive standpoint, or are you thinking about them why you don't have them? That's really the difference. That's really the difference, guys. Be honest with yourself, right? So we'll talk more about this. This is Tom Caron with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and then, share our videos, comment. That's how we get our message out. Love subscribers. Until next time, this is Tom Caron with Be Something Wonderful. See you soon.